Mr. Siegel, we are live on another Technology Corner with National Technology Management. Happy Good Friday to you, sir.
Hey, Good Friday to you as well. Happy Passover to the rest of us.
Same to you. So just a few parking lot items before we get started. This is live 9:15 Eastern every Friday morning on the National Technology Management Facebook page. You can also find us on the web at trustntm.com, and you can hunt us down on YouTube, where all these videos are then propagated, and on LinkedIn as well. On LinkedIn search engine, just type in National Technology Management Detroit, and we will come up, or you can type in Kelly Siegel's name. Kelly, I think you have more brand recognition, your first and last name, than your company name does. So people can find us in those 4 different ways. So Kelly, this morning we were talking about downtime, and you were just talking about leaving Michigan, headed to your Florida place, your Florida office, power outages, bad weather. That's a version of downtime, right? So let's just dive in. What is downtime, and what's it cost businesses, time or money? Which one's more important?
Well, what is more important is at the end of your life, you're not going to wish you had more money. you're going to wish you had more time. So time is very important, and spending that time wisely is very important. And spending it arguing or going back and forth with a vendor is not something that I want to do. So I'd rather be proactive and pay for things up front and spend a little more and get it done right than to save a little bit. You're gonna hear a lot of cliches, a lot of Stiegelisms, where it's you get what you pay for. Time is money, but a lot of people will look and go, "Oh, that price." We break out our invoices line item by line item because we include so much more than everybody else, and everyone's like, well, "That's too expensive." Well, what's too expensive? What specifically? Did you have a number in mind of what the product was going to be? Did you Google it? What'd you do to come up with the number that you thought would be more in line with it? And then let's unpack that. But all too often, people have unrealistic expectations of what things cost.
Yeah.
So if there's an easy old math question, it's figure out what you made in the year, divide it by the number of hours, and then figure out how much not doing that costs yourself. So if you make X amount of dollars and you work it out to be, you make $100 an hour, and you're down and can't work for 10 hours, you just lost $1,000.
Yeah.
So, and that doesn't have the collateral damage of what it costs your company. So that's another great plan that most people don't know is if something you can hire out for less than what you make, you need to do that. So if you're making $100 an hour all in and you're cleaning your house, you should find a $25 to $30 an hour maid services and outsource that. That's just the general rule of thumb. So all too often companies and people don't look soft costs in what they don't factor that into their decisions. So time is money, and that if you're going to go out and research 45 different vendors and get 7 different quotes, it becomes an issue where that's time that you could be going and making more money. So I'm just a huge time investor. We got an issue right now at the Florida house where someone's doing some work, and I have a buddy you can actually see walking around behind me, and he's like, "Oh, you need to call so and so and do so and so and so and so and save 10% of the project." And I'm like, I don't want that kind of time. I got a video to do with Dave. I got my book writing right after that, and time is money, and you got to. I am the worst at that, in that I want to spend the time maximizing my energy.
Yeah.
And I only have so many hours in a day of where I'm awesome, and I want to use those wisely. So all too often people go, "Oh, I can get this cheap firewall," and and there's nothing more than you get what you pay for in this world than in IT. If something is 1/10 the cost, it's because it's 1/10 the product.
Yeah, I agree. So when we're talking about businesses, you're talking about downtime, hardware issues. That's an example of downtime. Not being able to get access to a certain type of application, or being able to work and costing you up to $1,000 an hour, however you quantify that, that's downtime. What are some other types of technology downtime that businesses could experience?
Well, I mean, the trickle down effect is huge. So that you go to your clients or your clients' clients are get pissed off with it. More importantly, it's if technology is in your way, it's what does it do to employee morale? If people like to feel fulfilled, everybody wants to feel like I did a good job today. And if they were unable to do it because their network was down or we were running a scan that stopped them from doing their work, the frustration is an all-time high in this digital world where we're supposed to be working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if for one minute my printer's not available or this isn't available or there's an update happening and I can't do what I want to do, this instant gratification world, it upsets them. And then who knows what they do? They go home and yell at their kids. Then the next person they snip at, and then there's just all kinds of negativity. That thank you. That sorry, deliver to Starbucks. How about that for friendship? Good people around here. That's efficiency right there.
It is. That is.
So it's just about being smart, and all too often I see people will waste everybody's time to save. Here's another. Well, let's jump over a freaking dollar to pick up a dime. All of our parents have said that, and it's so fitting. I hate to pick on a client, but I had a client emailing me and other people to save $500 on a computer, and the time and energy we spent, we blew the $500.
Yeah.
So, time is money. Be smart.
Isn't it the old adage, being penny wise and pound foolish? It's about focusing on a $500 expense when you're spending $500,000 on something you can't track. And I can't tell you how many startups that I've seen and been a part of where that's the case, right? They have a problem with spending $100 or $50 or $500 or $1,000 when they're blowing $100,000 at this trade show without any metrics. So they're blowing $125,000 on payroll for an employee who's doing a subpar job, but yet they're worried about a shipping expense for $475 or whatever the case might be.
I'm sorry to cut you off. That's a really good. So what I think one of my positive attributes is that I do look at both sides of the coin. I'm not always right. I was wrong once, but I was mistaken, but it happens. So what I once talked to a very, very wealthy client of mine, and he said, Kelly, those a series of small savings all add up. And it hit me. So I get it. So they save $450 off of shipping, and then they go save $100 off of coffee. And you add those all together and they become big wins. But I still look at it and go, where is, and that's going to be left versus right. Who's right? At the end of the day, deliver results with hard work. Work works. Be smart. Get multiple quotes. Look at things, but understand that with NTM we include so much in cybersecurity that I bid a job yesterday, and it's a dear friend of mine. I love him dearly, and I guarantee you look and goes, whoa, that's expensive. And I can't get them on the phone because they think it's expensive. What they didn't hear is it's turnkey. And when they get audited by their insurance company, which we've talked about many times, there's many, many technology corners, they are going to be able to just check the boxes and say, yeah, we got that covered. So there is solace in that, because the flip side is true is when they call their IT company, if they don't choose to do business with us next year, when the insurance company says you got to do two-factor authentication, you got to make sure all your patches, you got to prove all this stuff, they're going to be writing a big mammoth check under duress, because the insurance companies give them a small window and say this needs to be done now. Well, here I am a year ahead of time offering that, and everyone's, I don't have to deal with it. I don't want to deal with that until I have to deal with it. And then when they do, it's a bigger issue. So instead of kicking that cart down the horse, just sign with NTM and we'll take care of everything, and you won't have that issue. And their headache is our headache. One of our old taglines was, "You do your business, we'll silence your IT." So if technology is getting in your way, call NTM, and it won't. Now, I don't have a magic wand. I can't wave a magic wand and make everything go away, because we just did an analysis. User error is our number one issue by far.
Yeah.
And user error can be much different things. It could be making a bad decision. It could be not listening. That's the biggest one. Just people don't listen. They don't, hey, click this, don't click that. They click that and don't click this. But it is what it is. That's always going to be there. And it's our job to just be positive and be happy and choose our time wisely. So and then we try to automate a lot of that. A lot of that's passwords and syncing and simple and easy stuff that
Yeah.
we kick butt and take.
So as you're talking about what that looks like, you talk about MTM handling all those items. What happens if I'm a law firm and one of my critical court sharing document line of business applications goes down? What's the process and how do I get that fixed?
It's a great question. And it's funny. Immediately, we try to partner with our clients and tell them, "Hey, we're a member of your staff, so treat us accordingly." But we end up being the sounding board, and they start screaming and yelling, and we giggle, and we're like, "I'm like, hey, we didn't do this to you,
Yeah.
but we're gonna fix it." So I wouldn't yell. I wouldn't. What is it? Don't look a gift horse in the mouth. Don't yell at your doctor as they're about to cut you open. So. But I say that tongue in cheek because that was what the old NTM prior to us turning into the real positivity and really becoming the best IT company on the planet. You teach people how to treat you, and we allow that. Now we wouldn't. Our customers realize we deliver results. So back to your question was in our initial onboarding, we get to all the fundamentals of your line of business application. And your line of business application is what the thing that you launch every morning to do your job. Sometimes it's just Outlook, but most of the time it's the software that's doing billings, the software that allows you to track what you're doing during the day. It's your CRM, it's some sort of software, and you're relying on somebody to make sure that it's up and running. And that somebody doesn't really care because they've charged a subscription. So it's NTM's job to be the go-between to call their bullshit, and sorry for using the word swearing, but it's to go in and when they're blaming it all on the network, we go, no, that's not accurate. And all too often, an end user who's a neophyte, if QuickBooks tells them, hey, it's your computer, they got to believe them. We're the technology guys. We say, nope, that's it's actually 16 gig of RAM. There's lots of storage. We're good to go. Guess again. So we are there arm in arm with our clients to make sure that it gets done. Now, with great responsibility comes great power comes great responsibility. So people expect us to have that magic pixie dust to make sure everything runs all the time, every day. And we do. We do. It's not without a lot of stress. My staff, or our staff at NTM, our family, is amazing. They sometimes beat their head against the wall. One of the biggest offenders is Comcast. Love them dearly, but they'll go down and not give any updates. And we're on the phone with them, beating them up and trying to reroute traffic and do whatever. But we make the impossible possible. So yeah, you don't have to do that. We do, but I wish I had much more of we're definitely more technical, but we don't have anything other than more tenacity than anybody else. And we will hound the heck out of somebody until they just do their job.
Yeah, love it. Kelly, where can people find out a little bit more about the downtime frustrations that we prevent at NTM? Where can they go to learn more about our fully managed service?
Well, yeah. Another thing that I failed to mention is we have a standard that we drop in to every single customer. And just by dropping in and standardizing everybody, it raises their level of technical standard, for lack of a better word. We went to a customer yesterday that had they were a mid-sized customer, and they had all home equipment, home switches, home firewalls, home Wi-Fi, and they wondered why it wasn't working. So we come in and we drop as a part of our standard enterprise level equipment that will last a long time, that will be secure, that is all backed up, that is all configured correctly. And the number one issue when they have that is everything's slow here. Well, you get what you pay for. So so to do that, we run some scans and we do some diagnosis and we do some discovery. And if you go to www.trustntm as a National Technology Management.com/offer, it talks about some cybersecurity scans, network scans. lots and lots of good information that we're offering at a discounted rate. Really, it's up to a $20,000 free, and it's eye-opening. We've ran several of these off of this offer lately, and people are like, wow. And we're loving it. It's having fun. It's eye-opening. It's not there to poke holes. Part of it is also too, we do some mock phishing testing, which is very eye-opening, especially when you see your financial person clicking on bogus links that we've sent out. And you're like, oh, that's a big no-no.
Big
So
no-no.
we learn a lot about the clients, and they learn a lot about themselves. It's very eye-opening on where we need to educate and plug those holes. And we'll do it all.
Good. So www.trustntm and www.trustntm.com/offer. I love it. Kelly, any wise words on this Good Friday before the patrons that are watching this today?
It's a big day today. It's Passover, and it's Good Friday. We got everybody working from home in a half day. And I read a sign yesterday that said, be kind to everybody. And it's a lost art of what's going on. I mean, there's some craziness still going on in the world. The New York subway stuff that's happening. There's still a bite. We're on this planet for a short time. Be nice to each other. Be kind.
Love it. Kelly, thanks for joining us in another Technology Corner. We'll see you next Friday, 9:15 Eastern.
Have a great day, brother.
You too.
Happy Easter. Happy Passover.
Same to you.